Good evening. Tonight we're going to start with Lesson 9 in our Unit 3, Apply Place Value Strategies to Multiply 3-digit numbers by 1-digit numbers. We're back to good old multiplication. A store sells 4 books. Each book costs $12. What is the total cost of the books? So one way of multiplying, like we have done in the past, is using a place value chart. And since we're selling 4 books, I'm going to make 4 groups. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then our last one is 4. And then I'm going to take that 12 and distribute it into each group. So we got 1, because it's 12, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many ones do we have? We have 2. We're going to break it up into 4 and going to place them into 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many 10s do we have? We have 4 10s. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? 8. Okay, so we have 48. So the cost of these 4 books, and they each cost $12, is $48. Now that is one way to multiply. Another way to multiply is just the standard way, 12 times 4. And if we go into the ones, we do 2 times 4 is 8. And then we're going to take this 4 and we are going to multiply it with the 10s. And when we do that, we get 4 times 1 is 4, but really it's a 40. But we place 4 because that's a 4, and we're not going to put 408 to show 40 because 10 times 4 is 40, and the 4 is in the tens place. So there you go, 2 different ways to multiply. All right, this store also sells 4 televisions. Each TV costs $212. What is the total cost of the televisions? Now, we could set this up and make our 1s, our 10s, hundreds, right? And we got the 1s, we have the 10s, and we have the hundreds. Okay. Now, how many are we going to have in the hundreds? Well, we got 2. How many we have in the 10s? We just have 1. And how many we have in the 1s is 2. But it says that we want selling 4 televisions. So that means we're going to have to make 4 equal groups. There's your 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, and our last group is 4. Now we have to take those place value discs and distribute them into each group. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so how many do we have in the hundreds? 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 8 hundreds. How many do we have in the tens? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many do we have in the ones? 2, 4, 6, 8. $848. But now let's try it in the standard way. So we have $212 and we have 4 groups of them. We want to know the total cost of all 4 televisions. 2 times 4 in the ones, we've got an 8. 1 times 4, that's the 10s. That's really a 40, right? But it's going to place a 4 because that's in the tens place. 2 times 4 is 8, and that is in the hundreds place. And there you go, $848. Same way as doing the place value chart to the standard. All right, 3 times as much as 423. Now we could try this using the place value discs, and we've had lots of practice with that in the beginning of this unit and the last unit that we did in Unit 2. Let's try this the old-fashioned way. 423 times 3. So we have 3 groups of 423. We go into the ones. 3 times 3 is 9. We go in the tens. 2 times 3. It's really a 20 times 3. And that is a 6, but the 6 in the tens place. 4 times 3. 4 is in the hundreds place. And that becomes 812. So now, if we were using a place value disc, we would have to have another column to show the thousands. So 3 times as much as 423 is 1,269. Okay, so we have 218, and we're going to multiply that by 5. Okay, it's going to be some bringing over a number, regrouping here. So 8 times 5 we know is 40. So we put the 0 and we carry the 4. 1 times 5 is 5, plus this 4 is 9. And 2 times 5 is 10. So we have 1,090. Now be careful, because when we place these, we have to place them not next to each other. We have to carry them over, just like when we would be doing in addition. Okay, let's try it some more. 5 times 208. So let's try 208. And we're multiplying this by 5. All right. 8 times 5 is 40. So we put the 0. We can't put the 4 here. We have to bring it over. Okay, so 0 times 5 is 0. Plus this 4 is 4. 2 times 5 is 10. So we have 1,040. This one we're going to use an area model to multiply. So in the past we did place value, charts, and disks, and we did standard. Now we're going to use the area model. The area model is kind of fun. So what we're going to do here is we're going to 5, and we're going to break this up. And we're going to break this up. It's not a 3. Remember, that's a 300. This one's a 4, but it's really a 40, and this is 0 ones. So 5 times 3, we know is 15, and we add on our zeros. So it's 1,500. 5 times 4 is 20. And then we bring down our 0, so that's 200. 5 times 0, that's just 0. So these are what we call partial products. And what do we do with partial products? We add them. So we have 1,500 plus 200. And I'm not even going to bother adding the 0. We can, but it's just 0. So we have 0, 0, 7, 1. So the answer to this is 1,700. 462 times 4. So let's try out that area model again. That was really bad. Okay. We're multiplying by 4, so that goes out there. And then we know 400. We're going to make that a big box. And we have there 60. And then we have our small 2 in our ones. So we're going to put 400. We're going to put 60, and we're going to put 2. 4 times 4 is 16, and then add our zeros, 1,600. 4 times 6 is 24, and you add on your 0. 4 times 2, that's just 8. So now 1,600 and 240 and 8 are our partial products, and we always add our partial products. So we have 1,600, we got 240, and now we have 8. We add them up, and we get 1,848. How would this look if I did this the standard? 462 times 4. Watch. 2 times 4, the ones, is 8. Go into the 10s. 6 times 4 is 24. Put the 4, carry the 2. 4 times 4 is 16, plus this 2 is 18. So there's your standard, 1,848. They're the same thing. It's kind of a good way of checking to see if you're getting the answer correctly. How did the mobile phone propose to his girlfriend? Ooh, gotta solve the next problems to find out. Use any method that you learned today to multiply 312 times 6. And, of course, bring in your work tomorrow. It would be kind of cool to see if you can check your work by using another method. Just great practice. 954 times 4, and use any method that you learned today. And of course, I want to see your work tomorrow and try to see if you can check it with another method you learned. How did the mobile phone propose to his girlfriend? He gave her a ring. Have a good night.